I'm here with Joe Hilbe, who teaches a number of statistical modeling courses, a number of them at statistics.com. From my account, Joe, you've authored 7 statistics books since 2001, 8 if you actually count the 200-page solution manual for logistic regression. What motivated you to write them?
I think probably the bottom line, when it really gets down to it, is that there was a lot of research that I see in publications and as a referee for various journals that kind of struck out that there needed to be, I think, better textbooks, at least in my mind, better textbooks, more clarity in explaining some of the various statistical models that I was particularly interested in, whether it's count models and Poisson regression and negative binomial regression, or generalized estimating equations, or generalized linear models. The ones that I had been writing software for during the 1990s and giving lectures on, or short courses here and in Europe. And I had a lot of materials and lecture materials put together over this time, and it just seemed that the timing was right to kind of put them together in book form and kind of solidify my own ideas, because you learn a lot when you're writing it out as a presentation. So they became kind of started with course outlines, course lecture materials to book forms. So the transition wasn't all that difficult, but the effort was to reach more people with the same kinds of materials and ways of looking at these models that I was giving in short courses or to smaller groups.
Well, what books are you working on now?
Well, I've got contracts for, I know it's going to seem kind of crazy, but for the 3rd edition of Generalized Linear Models and Extensions that I'm doing with James Harden. Back in 2002, we wrote a book called Generalized Estimated Equations. We've been asked numerous times by the publisher to write a 2nd edition of that, so we both decided we'd go ahead and do that. The timing is right, so we're going to do that as well. So we've got contracts for there. I'm working on a book with Justine Schultz at the University of Pennsylvania called Quasi-Least Squares Regression. So we're just about finished with that one. I'm also working on a book, in fact, today I'm working on chapter 4 of a book that I'm writing with Andrew Robinson of the University of Melbourne on methods of statistical model estimation. So it's a much more technical book than some of the others, but it's how programmers can actually develop models and programming, primarily using R, for these. And I think that's it, except for I've also got a contract for the 2nd edition of my logistic regression, but that's not due until the end of next year. So all of those others are actually due contractually this year. So I've got lots to do.
Sounds like a full plate for,
It's a really very
for
full plate.
2011.
Yeah, it really is.